All right, guys. Thank you for joining me this morning. Again, always appreciate it when you guys, you know, watch my shows. So let's get on with the Wednesday morning midweek report, which there's a lot going on, but I'm only going to talk about a few things. We're going to keep it at a half hour. I try not to go over, but if we go over, we go over. It's not the end of the world. So first and foremost, when when you when you don't think the Biden administration could get any stupider or dumb or idiotic or Democrat, um, the the things that comes out of the administration's mouth or on paper rather, it's just the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. And anyway, let me get right to it. So the Biden administration is funding a program that hands out crack pipes to prevent infections and promotes racial equity. I don't know what the racial equity part is, and preventing infections from crack pipes. Crack pipes are not heroin needles. Infection rates, I'm not sure if that's even a thing. Because a crack pipe, you're putting your mouth on something. So if they're worried about someone getting herpes, maybe. But I don't see it as a big infectious problem. That being said, guys, um, whatever idiot thought it, because listen, believe it or not, this is not Biden's idea. This is an idea that was passed on to him. Some stupid Democrat somewhere wrote this idiotic proposal, and then the Biden administration said yes. I don't even think Biden read this, because listen, guys, at this point, Biden will approve anything because he's so absent-minded. He's not there. He hasn't been there since he walked into the White House last year. But with that being said, there is definitely idiocy running through this White House. Now, they want to roll this out because they want to reduce infection. This is a $30 million plan to hand out crack pipes. That's a lot of crack pipe, guys. I mean, the last time I checked, crack pipes weren't that expensive. So $30 million is a lot of damn money to be handing out crack pipes nationwide. It had probably only taken 10 million, no, not even, maybe $5 million to do it. But you know that $30 million, probably half of that's going in some politician's pocket. Um, Faith crisis. I don't know why this is a thing. I really don't. I don't know how handing out, like in certain states they're handing out heroin needles. Um, because they don't want the transmission of AIDS and other diseases to be spread through needles. So you sort of get the needle thing, though it's still stupid. Um, it still doesn't stop the addiction process. It doesn't stop drugs. It just, okay, you got one less heroin addict with AIDS. Listen, if a heroin addict is hooked on heroin, does it really matter at that point that they catch some kind of fucking disease? I mean, it really doesn't, right? Because they're ultimately going to die from heroin. I mean, the turnover rate for heroin addicts is so low, it's like not even worth talking about, right? And once you're hooked on heroin, you're pretty much done. And a lot of heroin addicts do relapse. I mean, the relapse rate is something like 90 something percent. So again, why protect them by giving them clean needles? I don't know, but whatever. You want to reduce AIDS, fine. But crack pipes and infections, those two don't go hand in hand. That's like people who smoke weed off of one another. When you guys are in that stupid circle smoking weed, you guys are passing that shit around. Crack pipes the same thing, same way. So I don't know what infection rate they're talking about. Teddy, man, what's going on? He said retired NYPD. Thank you for your service, man. Appreciate it. So again, guys, it's a $30 million plan. They want to roll it out in the middle of this year. I'm thinking about June or July or so. And I, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. But all right, let's go down the list. So the it's a program. It's a grant program, rather. Sorry, that explains. I'm going to explain. Sorry, where the fund's going to be used. So Purchase equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts. That's what they're calling us. They're calling this a harm reduction effort. You know how you reduce harm? You take the drugs out of the equation. You take the heroin, you take the crack, you take the mushrooms, you take all of that shit out of the equation. That's how you reduce harm. You don't reduce harm by saying, all right, you can still smoke your crack. Here's a crack pipe because it's clean. Crack pipe, crackheads don't give a fuck if it's clean or dirty. So you give him a clean crack pipe, what is he going to be like? Thank God I have a clean crack pipe to fucking overdose on crack. Like, I don't get it. Thank you for a clean needle. Now I can OD with a clean needle in my arm so I don't look embarrassed when the first responders respond with a dirty needle in my arm. Like, who? Democrats. This is all Democrat ideology. Anyway, so purchase equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts, such as harm reduction vending machines, including stocked for machines. That doesn't make any sense. Including stock for machines. So including stock for machines. All right, sorry. So they're going to have vending machines, but probably crack pipes and needles. I don't know how crack pipes are going to fall out of those machines because crack pipes are very thin glass and they break easy. But whatever. I don't know if I can go on with this anymore, but I'm going to have to. Infectious disease testing kits for HIV, HPV, and HCV, and etc. Medication lock boxes. I don't know. Maybe for the overdose clinics. FDA approved overdose reversal medication, as well as higher doses for now approved by FDA. So, the FDA is going to approve reversal medication, which is like Narcan, and I don't know what they use for crack. They don't use Narcan for crack, but they probably have something that's approved for it. So, if you're overdosing on crack, I guess they're going to reverse it. I don't know. They have safe sex kits, including PrEP resources. PrEP is a drug that mostly, but not all, gay men use to prevent HIV. And condoms. Okay, and they have safe smoking kits and supplies. So to smoke your crack, you're going to get a little kit to go along with your crack pipe. So when you get your crack pipe, thank you, sir, they're going to give you a little kit. Here's the instructions on how to smoke your crack safely. That's the only thing I could think of. This is, guys, as I talk about this, I'm feeling brain cells die. I think by the time I'm done with this, I'm going to be completely stupid. So forgive me if I start stammering towards the end. Or drooling. Or have a glazed look in my eyes. This is fucking bad. Bad. Alright, anyway. Next, screening for infectious diseases such as HIV, sexually transmitted infections, and viral hepatitis. Sharp disposal and medication disposal kits. I guess to give them to them and also to the overdose clinics that are opening up all over the country all of a sudden. Substance test kits, including test strips for fentanyl and other synthetic drugs. That, I don't know what they're going to do with. Substance test kits. Who are you giving those test strips to for fentanyl and other synthetic drugs? It's got to be for the overdose clinics. That's the only thing I can think of, because I don't see a crackhead or heroin addict being responsible and going, whoa, we got to test this for fentanyl. Stop. Jimmy, stop. Put it down. When we test this, then you can take your drugs. Syringe prevent and control of spread infectious disease. Vaccination service, hepatitis A, B vaccination, and COVID vaccine. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. All right. If you are a drug addict, COVID-19 vaccine is the least of your fucking worries. Whatever. And wound care management supplies. I guess for the heroin track marks that get infected, they're also putting... So guys, all of this is part of the Enhanced Harm Reduction Effort Program. $30 million is going towards all of this shit I just read. I don't know. I should just end the live stream now because it doesn't get any stupider than that. It really doesn't. Teddy B, thank you for the support and the uplifting charitable donations. Thank you, because I I just don't know. I Okay, so anyway, we're gonna have to move right the fuck along because that was hard. That was hard to swallow, guys. It was really bad. I am gonna do a video on this, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So let's move right the fuck along. Now, let me open this section up by saying Olympians deserve what they get. You went to China, a socialist country, a socialist communist country that treats their people like shit, their own people. So now you're a guest in their country. You thought because you were an Olympian, you were going to get better treatment. Now, I know some people say that the last Olympic they went to in China, they were treated a lot better. But in this case, guys, China didn't have the funds to actually support this Olympics. They just didn't. They went through a crushing economic downturn in their country a few months ago. They couldn't afford this, but they weren't reporting that worldwide. You had to look for it to see how China economy was fucking suffering. That being said, now they're hosting the Olympics this year, which pretty much no one's watching. I don't know anyone who's watching this shit show. But now the Olympians are reporting that they're not getting enough food and that they're being treated like second-rate citizens. I mean, and they are, but they're guests in the country. The Chinese government is also, and they don't understand why, isolating the media. So media personnel is only allowed to go only so many places because it's China, guys. I mean, you really can't do anything. I don't know anybody that wants to visit China unless you're Chinese and you're visiting family. If you are an American citizen, there's no reason why you should be visiting China. Zero. That country should fall in the fucking, well, the sinkhole of some kind. But that's not the point. Anyway, so several representatives, Olympic representatives, sorry, participating in the Beijing Olympics have taken issue with China's behavior as a hosting country, pointing out inhumane conditions for quarantine athletes, unreasonable isolation and rules, and unexplained media suppression. As some of you have seen, they took a Dutch reporter in the middle of him reporting. They grabbed him out of his skit or whatever he was doing, reporting he was doing, and whisked him away. I think he was also kicked out of the Olympics, and he's probably going back home. You have certain media coverage here in the United States. What do they call it? Host, right? NBC Olympic host. They didn't go to Beijing because of their fucking rules. So now all these people, and not that I side with them, but it was a good move. A lot of politicians didn't want to go to China because of their inhumane treatment of the Uyghur people, who all of a sudden everybody knows about. Anyway, so with that being said, the Olympic athletes of the United States should have pulled out of this one. But they get what they deserve because they were thinking about themselves and not the greater good. The greater good for the United States was to boycott this Olympic at all cost. Now, I know some of these Olympians, they trained their fucking entire lives for this point. But some things are bigger than yourself. And you should have absolutely boycotted this Olympics. Any Olympics going to China should be boycotted moving forward. Olympians should all stand together and just boycott. And like, fuck it. Hell, if the swim team, if the ice skating team or the ski team bowed out of this one, a lot of people would have followed in suit. And other countries would have followed in suit, and they would have had a non-existent Olympics. But most Olympians are selfish. It's all about them, and they don't want to look at the greater picture, so they get what they deserve, right? And what they deserve is this treatment. Because China has forever been a country that has never been nice to its guest. Ever. Now you're being treated badly. Now you're like, oh shit. Now, Olympians should all leave. They should just fucking pack their shit up and go. But they're not going to do that. They're going to sit there and cry and complain and not leave. They should absolutely take up during the middle of the Olympics to show protest, solidarity, the whole 9 yards, and bounce. But whatever. That is up to them. That is on them, actually. Sorry. All right. So, as far as media suppression goes, what's her name? The black chick that was in the Females Ghostbusters, Leslie, whatever the fuck her name is. she says she's no longer going to. What is she doing? She was doing something for the Olympics. She says she's no longer going to do it because she wasn't feeling welcome there. Well, listen, and shame on her for not knowing. Chinese people are not fond of black folks. Bottom line, guys, they never ever want to talk about the racial bullshit that Chinese have towards black people, whether it's black Americans, Africans, and doesn't matter, guys. If you are dark skinned, they treat you like shit. They treat their own Chinese dark skinned people like shit. So with that, the hell's her name? Leslie. God, man, the ugly chick from who was on SNL. But anyway, she says she's no longer doing the commentaries for the Olympics because she didn't feel welcome. Well, again, because you think that only white people are racist to you, you need to open your motherfucking eyes and know that the Chinese are very, very racist towards black folks. And a lot of people will say that I'm purposeful. Prepper, thank you for the donation. A lot of people will sit there and go, well, the Chinese are getting their ass handed to them in New York, by the homeless. I can care less. And I've always taken that position that I can care less because I report it, and it sucks that people are getting beat up because they're Asian, but no one ever addresses the Asian community and their dislike for the black community. Ever. So now they're getting their asses handed to them, and now people are supposed to feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I do think it's shitty that it's happening to them, but I don't feel bad. If they address the race relations amongst blacks and Chinese, then I might be able to fucking be like, oh, then I'll play a violin for them. The world's smallest violin, but I'll play a violin for them. But until then, I can care less. I really can. And so you go to China as a black person, you're getting treated like shit. You go to Japan, you're getting treated like shit. There's a group of people in Japan that don't like black folks. For whatever reason it is, I've heard some stories. I'm actually, my buddy, who's a fireman, he went to Japan. He was skiing on one of their mountains. After they were done skiing, they went to eat somewhere, and they went out of their way to not serve this dude. And he was sitting at a table with other dudes. White guy and one Dominican dude, or two Dominican dudes. And they're sitting there, and they went out of their ways not to serve him. Right? So they treated him like shit. That's what I'm saying. So, the Asian community, they get zero sympathy from me when they start getting treated badly here. Zero. And again, it needs to be addressed, because if it's not addressed, they're not going to get any fucking sympathy. So, moving right the fuck along. On a shittier note than the shittier note we were just talking about, some Iranian man was carrying his wife's head around for honor killing, right? So I guess in those Middle Eastern countries, honor killings are accepted. And if you kill your wife and say, if you're killing your wife and saying it's an honor killing, you sort of get away with it. I don't know what extent this guy's going to go through in his country, but story goes, his wife left him. And keep in mind, he married his wife when she was 12. She is 18, or she died at 18, sorry. He cut her head off because she left, came back. She didn't want to be alone. She didn't want to do this by herself. Her family was also pressuring her to go back to him. She goes back to him, and now she's dead. So the man, the psych patient that he is walking around the street with her head in her hand, and people are videoing this. Now, people like, oh, well, those Iranian dudes, that's what they do. No, this guy was psychologically damaged. If you cut your loved one's head off, you have a psychological issue. It's not about honor killing. It's not about that's their culture. That's bullshit. That guy was a psych patient. He was smiling in the video when he was carrying her head around. I thought at one point he was even giving a thumbs up. So, this is the kind of shit that goes on in other countries, and people bitch and moan about the United States. Black folks are crying about the being mistreated by white folks today. He looked at me the wrong way because I was black. Motherfuckers are getting their heads cut off for stupid reasons. And here in the United States, we cry over bullshit. We got Karens bitching and moaning about everything. We got the black community bitching and moaning about everything. We got the Asian community bitching and moaning about everything. I'm like, live in a country where just because you looked at another man, looked at him, and not because you looked at him because you were like, oh, look at him. You looked at him because he was just happened to be standing there when you looked over, and the husband got super jealous and killed her. Now, this is not the case. There was another case a few years back where the husband killed his wife because she looked at another man. The gay community here in the United States bitch, moans, and cries about everything. But in that country, you would be killed for being gay. And in a lot of countries, you would be killed for being gay. So my point to it is, stop bitching and moaning. We live in a fucking great country. It's not a perfect country, but there are a lot of shit people in this country can get away with. Muslim women in this country, which I can't stand, the fact that a lot of Muslim women in this country, they treat blacks like shit. I've had my kids yelled at twice, two separate occasions, two different women yelled at my kids because they were scooting too close to them. Meanwhile, my son was clearly feet away from this woman, but she made a comment, so I got in her ass, and then I followed up with the comment as, you know, in your country, you would get punched in your face and beheaded for the shit you're pulling here. I said, you're in this free country. You should be grateful that you have the free life and the things you're able to do here instead of being a dick to a fucking kid. And with that, she walked off. She looked at me and gave me some fucking shitty look and walked away. So, guys, yeah, the honor killings that happen in other countries, they don't happen here. And I don't think they're honored here. No, they're not honored here. Sorry. And we have to take things, we shouldn't take things for granted. And I think that's what Americans do. All of us. We take a lot of shit for granted, you know? And we don't look at other countries and go, whoa, they hung that dude because he was gay? Holy shit. And I'm bitching about, you know, some guy not wanting to talk to me because I'm gay. Like, it's the simple things we complain about here that in other countries they would welcome. They would welcome that kind of behavior in that country. They would welcome fucking somebody rolling their eyes at them, you know, as opposed to getting beheaded, killed, hung, burned. Again, we take shit for granted here. So, moving right along, and this is probably going to be the last thing we talk about. Yeah, because we have 24 minutes. I don't know. So, it was an opinion piece. Not sure where to go with this, but the opinion piece in the article, it said if you have the shot, you're most likely to be killed by lightning than die from COVID. So they're saying that once you get the shot, you're saved, and now you're more likely to get struck by lightning. I was, in all accounts, and most people, 99.9% of the population, is more likely to get hit by lightning than die from COVID. That's just how it is. But yet they're trying to make this as the savior. And it's stupid. And they need to stop. And they're not going to stop. I know they're not. They're going to keep carrying on. They're going to get carried away. They're going to, make this the savior of everything. And it's the vaccine is the savior. Your life has now been saved because of COVID. So I don't know why they keep beating this drum. We're all seeing through the bullshit. Most of us are seeing through the bullshit. Sorry. But whatever, guys. It's gotten really bad. So, I also want to let you guys know, a couple of you guys sent me some articles this week, so that I can do it on my Wednesday morning midweek reports. And I do appreciate those articles. Some of the articles will make it in. Some of the articles don't make it in. The crack pipe article was sent to me by, I forgot who. And I'll get permission to use the names. But if you guys have some interesting shit that I should know about, please let me know. And also, some people seem to think the convoy, switching gears, the convoy in Canada, some people think some bad shit's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm paying attention to it, but I don't think anything is. I don't know if the government's going to drop the hammer and release the military, even though the military said they wouldn't help. So I don't know, guys. I don't know where this convoy shit's going to go. Mark McKinley, sorry to hear that. And guys, if you notice, I was able to go through this a lot faster because I was actually reading what I had in front of me and not looking at the chat. Now I'm looking at the chat. But yeah, Mark McKinley, sorry to hear that. Listen, guys, they're not disclosing that. They're not telling people about that. So there are a lot of people who are not making it after taking that shot. A lot of people. I wouldn't say millions, but it's up there. And yeah, they're not disclosing it. But every time someone dies from not taking the arm ticket, they report that. Right? So there's a news app called Newsbreak. I'm actually I downloaded this news app called Newsbreak because they talk about shit all over the world. But the basis of their news now is every time someone passes away who is unshot, they attribute that to them not taking the shot and dying from COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck? And yeah, guys, and now the boosters being talked about, you know, I I don't know. It's going to get way worse before it gets better. And a lot of people here in New York or the liberal cities seem to think it's getting better. They're not paying attention. Now, there are some people who are waking up. There are some people who are taking the arm ticket, and they're like, holy shit, I feel really bad. I'm not taking the next one. I'm going to stand my ground. Well, should have stood your ground with the first one, you know? Noodlehead. This is on my website. I think it's still on the website. The link should be in the description section below, or if it's not there yet, it'll be there after the what you call it. I haven't sold many of these T-shirts. Let me look for it. I'm gonna get back to working on the store, with Teesprings, and I'm absolutely gonna open up a store for the fitness channel. There'll be like motivational shit on it, on the shirt and whatnot. But yeah, I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, some people were like, "Why would you wear this shirt? You're drawing a X on your back or a target on your back. Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Because I'm me. That's why." And fuck these people. I'm like, it was all right for these people to walk around and say, with a little band-aid on it, on virtual signaling how they're vaccinated and they support it and those other crazy shit, or the mask on their face that says I'm vaccinated. I'm like, that was okay. I walk around with this shirt. I'm an asshole. An asshole I will be. So, pure blood shirts are coming soon. I was overthinking that. And now, okay, let's see. I was overthinking the pure blood shirts. I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's see if I can find it. I know, this website, if you don't sell for a while, they sort of kill your Okay, let's see if I could post it. DDT. Let me know if it's still there. That would be greatly appreciated. I mean, on my end it's still there, but I don't know if it's still there, like I can see it in the stores. But whatever. Either way, guys, let me know if the shirt's there. I mean, it says it's still there, but whatever. All right, so moving right along, guys. I'm absolutely going to start working on more shit. I'm going to work on the T-shirt store a little more. The Angry Prepper Fitness channel, I'm going to work on those T-shirts this week. I got a lot of work to do. Again, this work keeps me busy, right? Because this is what happens when you're retired. Retired at 44, huh? Still there. All right, cool. Thank you, Lulu, and thank you, Moron Prepper. Appreciate it. Yes, it's still there. Thanks, guys. So, anyway, get the T-shirt. Don't get the T-shirt. Copy the T-shirt. I don't care. Whatever. You're just getting the message across. Yeah, so, Doggy's Guitar. I will do live streams for the fitness channel once I hit the number. But when I hit that number, I'll be doing fitness walks, and I'll be doing workouts, live streams in the mornings though. So that means I have to get my ass up in the morning to do workouts. And the workouts they're gonna start real simple workouts, guys. They're gonna start at the most simplest workouts I can get them to, and then moving right along. Now, that being said, just because I work out with you guys in the morning with the simple workouts, I still have to do my workout, right? One thing about working out, guys, if you were an athlete, your body is going to automatically remember what you used to do. But that doesn't mean you push it. But that also means you're going to get to a threshold or a plateau really quickly, right? So if you're 40 years old and you haven't worked out in 20 years, as soon as you start working out again, your body's going to remember that. It's going to remember it pretty quickly. Versus those who never worked out before, and you're going to plateau pretty fast. Now, someone asks about women workouts. Yes, I will do workouts geared towards women as well. The fitness channel, guys, it's going to be an all-encompassing channel, right? So we're going to talk about women's health, men's health, old people health. We're not going to talk about kids, though. We will talk about workouts for kids. But a lot of the things we're going to talk about, like, for example, we're talking about supplements, and some people like, don't take supplements. At first, you shouldn't take supplements. You should clean up your diet first. You should let your body respond to the diet before you take the supplements, right? You should also, before you do the diet, you should always do a cleanse. You should get your intestinal tract back to zero, and in a matter of speaking, back to zero, and then start eating clean before you take the supplements. So you want to clean your body out, you want to clean your blood, you want to clean all of that out and start from zero. You don't want to start with gunk on board. And that's what I call it. All the shit that we've taken over the years, all the shit we've eaten for years is gunk on board. Faith Chris, hydrate. So first thing in the morning, guys, you want to do is just drink water. Don't drink coffee yet. Drink water. Drink anywhere between 8 to 16 ounces. I would say if you're a bigger person, drink 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Some people will say there's a debate whether you drink it cold or room temperature. Just drink fucking water. Doesn't matter. Fasting is a good part, but Paul Taylor, there are a lot of people who cannot fast yet. Don't fast out of the gates if you never fast before. If your body is new to dieting and all this other bullshit, you don't want to fast out of the gates. Some people said they've done it and it's great, but you want to talk baby steps, that is baby steps. First thing in the morning, drink water and go for a fucking 20-minute walk. Simple. It's the simplest thing you could do to start seeing weight come off. If, again, you were an athlete of some kind, a 20-minute walk is not going to work for you. You're going to have to absolutely work out, right? But even if you just do push-ups, sit-ups, and some pull-ups, or push-ups, sit-ups, and lunges, you're getting your body acclimated to something new, and you're going to shred the weight. More on prepper. Do I use creatine? Not anymore. I used to use it a long time ago. And with creatine, you got to use smaller doses. There was a nurse who had a kid that had kidney problems because he was taking too much creatine, and it gunked up his kidneys. He had to get his kidneys removed, one of his kidneys removed. So I say if you're going to use creatine, you should only use it a couple times a week and not every day. Creatine still has its place, but you have to be careful on how you use a lot of supplements. A lot of guys use too much supplements, guys, and they damage their body over a long period of time. Emma, if you are unfit and have knee pain, that's a rough one, but you can still do upper body work, right? So there's upper body exercises that you can do that's still going to shed weight for you. If you have knee pain, I would say go see your doctor and figure out why. There's a couple of therapeutic moves you can use, like stretching your calves, stretching your hamstring, and stretching your hip and your lower back can free up knee pain. But that's stretching. So I would advise you do that first and see if your knee pain is alleviated. But if you've been having knee pain for years, I doubt that the stretching is going to work. If you had knee pain within the last couple weeks, I would try stretching out lower back, hamstring, and calves to free up your knee pain. Even massaging your IT band, which is the middle of your thigh, side of your thigh. So the side of your thigh is something called the IT band. If you release that, and when I mean release, I mean you need a massage, a deep massage. You take a tennis ball or not a softball, a baseball or a lacrosse ball, and you take that in, you dig deep into the side of your thighs, you can feel the relief in your knees sometimes. It's fucking crazy. So I've had knee pain since I started lifting, and I've dealt with it by doing all of these little stretching techniques or mobility techniques, and I've seen a difference in my knee pain, if you will. I still have it, but it's not as bad. Eventually, at some point, I'm going to need knee surgery. I was told that a couple of years ago when I had my knee looked at. They said I'm probably going to need a cleanup job soon and or knee replacement down the line. But it is what it is. When you work in a high impact job, firefighter, police, military, your knees are one of the first things to go. And knees are not built to do what we think they can do. What about hip pain? Hip joint pain, same thing. If you are tight in that area, you're going to have pain in that area. So you need to release the pressure in your hamstring and your lower back, right? Also, the side bendy bullshit, the stretching, that also releases a lot of pain. But if you are having a lot of pain after that, I would suggest you go see a doctor. And here's the other thing, guys. You need to see your doctor first before you start any of these workout programs. If you're older, if you're younger, have at it. If you have any kind of pain, you should absolutely get it looked at. You shouldn't jump right into something, especially if you're older. You need to get your heart looked at. You need to get a lot of things in your body looked at. And also, guys, it's good to go see the doctor so he does a blood test. You also go see a doctor so they do a full blood test, a full blood work, right? Get a full blood workup done, and now you have a base where to start. All right, my cholesterol's too high. My trans fat is too high. My triglycerides is high. Let's see what this diet does. And then in a month or so, you do another blood work and see where you are. Your doctors, a lot of doctors will give you this blood work without any question, guys. Yeah. So sorry, I was reading a comment. So guys, again, this is just basic stuff that you should know. Now I know a lot of these fitness channels, they they overshoot. Not they overshoot, but they jump right into fitness. They don't start with the little things. And a lot of people will look at these channels and go, he's doing what with a kettlebell? I'm not following that dude. Well, I'm gonna do that. What's he doing with a kettlebell move as well? But we're gonna start with some basic shit. We're just gonna start with walking. You can walk at your pace, and then when you, for a week, finish walking at your pace, you speed it up a little bit, right? Then the next week you drop it back down to your normal pace walk. Then the next week you speed it up a little bit. And you speed it up a little bit at a time. I'm not saying go off to a full sprint, but walk with a little, with a little purpose. If you're heavy, you're gonna walk like you're smelling the roses. But once you start plateauing, you want to walk a little faster to add more fat burn, if you will. And that's the basic you can start with, is walking, guys. Everybody thinks you need to start running up and down stairs, lifting fucking heavy shit. No, walking is going to get you there, especially if you never worked out before or if you have some medical problems. Walking is the way to either A, drop some weight, or B, keep your weight where it is. Now, 68 with a defibrillate implant, I would say be very careful what you do. That point, you have to listen to your body. But I would, in your case, just do walking, right? And then once you get used to walking, walk up some stairs. If you have stairs in the area, walk up a hill if you can. You know what I mean? But walk. Walking is the base of everything, guys. But if you're going to walk, you also have to look at your diet and go, all right, I don't need this, and that. Look at your diet too, guys. If you're drinking a can of soda a day or 2 cans of soda a day, drop the can of soda. If you're eating cakes and snacks at night, drop the cakes and snacks at night. Substitute it for some shit like watermelon or apple peanut butter. Substitute it with other things, or cut it out altogether to see if you drop that weight. Right? So that, like I said, there's little things you can do that's going to drop weight, that's going to inspire you to want to lose more weight. Hopefully that helps. And sorry that this turned into a fitness talk. I do apologize about that. But once the channel gets the 400 or 4,000 watch hours or whatever, then it'll be then I'll get the what you call it, the live streams and shit like that. Then we could do a lot more together. Because then when we do the live streams, we could do the walk and talks with the live streams, where I walk about a mile or so. And guys, again, 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk suffice. You don't have to walk for an hour. An hour is nice, but you can definitely do a 20, 30-minute walk. And also, guys, the thing with fitness and wellness is it should be in the prepper community. We don't talk about this shit. We don't talk about some of the things we're storing away, guys, are probably going to do more damage to us than good, right? Some of the canned goods that we store away, This is why you go for canned goods that are, what is it called? Organic cans, if you can. You know what I mean? If you can afford it. Grow your own shit if you can. If you have a garden, I would absolutely rather people grow their own shit, can their own shit, and then be done with it that way instead of doing what I'm doing is fucking getting cans from the supermarket. But that's what I have right now. That's what I'm prepping with. I tell people be careful of plastic bottles and shit like that because plastic leaches into whatever you're storing in it. Well, water mainly. If your water is being kept at a cold temperature or warm temperature, the plastic leaches in that. That adds that toxic chemical leaching into your water comes into your body. That adds to your problems down the line. You know. So with that too, guys, there's going to be a ton of trolls on the fitness channel. I'm going to let you know that right now. There's always somebody I'm like, oh, you shouldn't do it that way. You shouldn't do it this way. There are 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? It's the same thing with working out. There are 1,000 ways, and then there are some just plain out wrong ways. But yeah, we're going to address all of the issues that we possibly can in fitness or whatever ideas you guys come up with. Don't smoke meth, please. Nice. Methamphetamines. Very good. Good, very good, Blue Vandal. So anyway, guys, other than that, we're going to end it today. Thank you for joining me this morning. I think my next live stream is going to be Friday night. I'm going to try to keep them Tuesday and Friday nights. I might do some Monday nights, you know, when I can. And other than that, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. And I'll have the Angry Prepper Fitness channel. The Angry Prepper Fitness channel is up, but I'll send you guys a link once I put a banner and a fucking icon or some shit on it. Then I'll send you guys the channel over. Prepper Health channel. Yeah, I should have called it that, but I think Angry Prepper Fitness just rolls off the tongue better, and we can call it AP Fitness for short. Yo, just some dude. I can't wait for my crack pipe too. I guess, right? Considering I'm you know, black and we need equality. I can get a crack pipe for free. Imagine that's stupid. Anyway, see you later, guys. Thank you.